Alright, my buddies, we're heading into game number 3 of Group A. AHQ Esports come off a win, EDG as well. Caitlyn is a ban from AHQ, smart one. Let's see if Gallia gets through. I think Gallia as a champion has been evolving to be a cornerstone of OP-ness. So let's see now. The Caitlyn ban and the Rakan ban does highlight the AHQ 1 to first pick Xayah. Let's see if they go for something else. EDG go for the Gragas ban. Mountain played a fantastic Gragas. Let's see if a Jarvan ban also comes in here. The trade-off will be Janna for Jarvan, as it seems. Love the Gallia ban as well. I think Xayah is going to be relevant in this pick and ban right here. Janna should be first pick and then Xayah should be picked later. I think Janna Xayah is still a very powerful bot lane that we haven't seen in quite some time. Malzahar is a ban. Malzahar was a champion that would have been insanely good for Cloud9 last game, and I would have loved to see it. Let's see now what Ziv first picks. I'm expecting a Janna. Jarvan is also a possibility, but I think Jarvan is a better choice. I mean, Janna is a better choice, but you can also pick Sejuani, I guess. I'm not too big of a fan. Like, it's very clear that EDG would pick Jarvan over it, and you would have like a priority to pick whichever support you want. Right now, Janna Jarvan is a good pickup for EDG. Seems like I go for Lulu instead. Jarvan. I think Janna is so OP right now because Xayah is still in the picture. I think it provides her with more strength. We saw in the early weeks of group stage where Xayah and Janna were really powerful because they can maintain the push down bottom. But Kog'Maw Lulu is also something that has a very, very big strength as well. So, of course, landing on Kog'Maw Lulu is not something that you want to you don't want to complain about that, you know, because you should be happy with that. There's also like the possibility of an AD carry coming into the picture that can like jump around because of Jarvan ultimate, but I think Janna should be enough to peel you. Let's see now. Kog'Maw is the pick for HQ side. I like this too because Xayah Lulu is not that great and Lulu Kog'Maw is a lot better. So with that in mind, you know, if you keep that in consideration, you know, you don't want to play Lulu Xayah. Janna Kog'Maw has had a lot of success. They won the last game with it, and they can continue down that path. I'm not too sure if I like this Ryze pickup, especially against these 3 picks. You're already gonna be forced to run cleanse, and it's not that great against Kog'Maw and Janna. I like Twitch a lot more. I like Twitch a lot here actually. I think Twitch Lulu should be able to beat Kog'Maw Janna in lane, and then it also scales immensely well. I think Justana, Twitch, and Kog'Maw, they have like similar strengths in lane phase, and then whoever has Lulu should be better. But of course, it's also a skill matchup because if you get like one good trade down bottom, all of a sudden you can dominate the lane and it changes the landscape of what's happening completely. EDG have the Jarvan flex, so we're going to see how that pans out. We saw them ban Hovering Ryze, potentially picking it. Maybe we see a Syndra ban. No Syndra ban this time around. Let's see now Chowie with his pick. Oh, Orianna. Alright. Syndra has been the go-to pick, but personally, I like Orianna a lot. I think Orianna is a pick that should be picked more often. But Syndra is a very safe blind. They're not playing against Westdoor, so they don't need to be scared about some assassin picks. AHQ going for that Ryze. Okay. Not too fancy. You know, Ryze has had some up and down performances, but I feel like Ryze has to get through so many loopholes to be successful. Like there's a lot of like what ifs for Ryze to be successful, and I don't like that part about Ryze. I feel like there's a lot of mages in mid lane that do better, and mages in general do better against long range carries. HQ with Ziv up top are ending up with a Jace blind pick top, which you know, it didn't work out for TSM, but let's see how this pans out. You know, Jace can pressure most matchups top lane, but it's important that you execute on it very well. Sejuani and Jace don't have that much of synergy because, not sure. To be honest, now that I think about it, like Jace could W and then go into hammer stance and then smack someone 3 times really fast, so maybe the synergy is not that bad. So about that 2v2 top lane, and the meta hasn't been too crazy about it as of late, you know, playing around top. We see Longzhu doing it, and Longzhu working out with it very well, and it works out for them big time. But they're on another level, right? So let's think about this game. Late game, I think EDG have an advantage. I have a preference when it comes to Syndra and late game, and I think Ryze will struggle against Syndra and Twitch when it comes to like dealing the damage. But the engage from Jarvan can get denied, and it can go either way. You know, I think the main thing that's going to decide this game is what is the state of Maokai and Jace. Like if Maokai comes through the game healthy and he does well in this game, then no problem. I think Maokai is going to heavily outscale the Jace, and there's going to be no issue. But if Jace ends up being ahead, starts punishing the Maokai, and starts creating a lot of pressure on the map, then I feel like the scaling into the game is going to be in favor of the Jace team. So it all comes down to what happens top lane. Also, of course, bot lane can be like very dynamic in the sense that maybe like one gank or maybe one good trade is going to settle it. Something that we need to highlight here is EDG are going for the most scaling way. They're going for fervor, and they're also going for the relic shield for the earlier ardent sensor. We have to pay attention to make sure that that doesn't make a difference. EDG with the sweeper here to begin with. They sweep the bush to make sure nothing's going on. AHQ went for the classic counter, like if the enemy team invades, you just invade the same. And you put your own wards to make sure that you know where the enemy starts, the same way EDG is going to know where AHQ start. The main thing here for AHQ is they need to face check some bushes here, they need to face check some things, and they need to be a bit scared because they don't have information, and face checking into EDG 4 players is going to be a problem. Something that we can spot here is Lulu, Twitch, and Clearlove. They are in the bush, and that's why they swept it. They just want to make sure there's no vision in there, and they're going for the play now. Very interesting, and it's important now if AHQ spotted this this freaking, what's it called, this sweeper, then maybe it would have made a world of difference. But Maokai already swapped back to green ward, and that was an interesting play. You can see that Maokai swapped back, and it's coming off cooldown quite quick. I think the other ones are quite bug because they're not moving. Alright. See the Jarvan doing blue buff into red buff into maybe possibly a level 2 gank. Could be quite deadly here onto Mouse. We don't know what his skill level 1. I don't think Mouse skilled E. So if he has WQ, maybe a level 2 gank could be very potent here. Ward is placed on Raptors. Chowie will spot Jarvan potentially here on his Raptors, and that is going to eliminate any possibility of Jarvan doing any early ganks. We see that Ryze has a cleanse in mid lane, so he's going to be a bit better against the Syndra and the Maokai, but we'll see the cleanse from Syndra against, of course, Ryze and Sejuani. Full clear from both junglers. Like Mountain didn't do his wolves yet, so that is going to be in favor of Clearlove, but he did them pretty late too, so it's not a big deal. Clearlove didn't do his golems, but golems is probably like the most annoying camp to do as a jungler because it takes the most time. Clearlove is just basing for his jungle item. No red smite this time around. He only went red smite against Graves. And also in the case where he has Galio and another tank on his team, so he can build like DPS heavy. I'm excited to see Scout on other champions than Lucian. I think he's definitely a player that is deserving of that. I think the main reason why EDG are open to play other things than Lucian is because they get Jarvan both games that we saw them without Lucian. If they have Jarvan in their team and also an AD carry, then most likely they'll have already enough physical damage to put them in a scenario where picking Lucian would just be bad. So Mouse now buys a shield for himself. Get some armor in this matchup. Not that behind on CS, like he's gonna catch like 6 CS now on this tower. If he's in time, maybe he'll lose 2. I think that wave is bigger than 2 CS, I think. It might be potentially 7. It seems fine. Seems to get it in time. I'm not too sure and certain if the right choice for Jace to buy lethality in this matchup. Like he's going to run into a lot of armor, and lethality is not going to be that cost effective. Maoka is just grabbing the wave, and Ziv gets kind of a good base because the upcoming wave that was coming was in fact a cannon wave. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, 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 hey. What just happened here? So we didn't say anything about mid lane, but Scout has a CS advantage right now. The wave is hitting in mid lane. He's taking the next wave. I just want to see what's going on in mid lane. Ryze needs to catch kind of a big wave under the turret. It looks like about 1.5 waves. Not too certain. It looks maybe like 5 creeps. Trying to read how much it is. It's a cannon wave, and that's a kill. No cleanse from Chowie. I don't think it would have mattered. He had to maybe cleanse flash the Q from Scout. Let's go back and check how Ryze based. So Chowie is half HP. Ryze, like Scout pushes in the wave. Okay, so here we have the first base. Scout is pretending to base, and then he's going in and using all his mana. Ryze is going back. Scout pushes into wave. Like, this is not a fast push, right? It's a cannon wave, so it's not too terrible. Chowie misses, what is it? Quite a few CS here, to be honest. Like, the cannon minion was not that healthy. Like, it looks like a fine base, you know? Like, the cannon wave is hitting, and I guess he kills the creep quite slow under the turret, and he's slow pushing now. Then the moment Ryze starts recalling is when the wave hits, so it's kind of bad. Alright, what was the health in the cannon minion when it was done? Yeah, it's kind of low. It's like 3 turret shots. I guess it ends up in favor of Scout. Like, the base was kind of late from Chowie because he killed the waves under the creeps under the tower pretty slow. He has the tier and based on similar money, and he has also a control ward, so it's not that bad. Scout uses extra money to get potions. And then Chowie just gets smashed in trades, it seems like. And then coming up to this is where Scout has like an XP advantage. The wave is crashing into the tower. I would love to see like Ryze XP to see how much CS he actually lost. But looking at it, like, there's a cannon minion and 3 creeps now running into the tower, and then he hits the stun, and Chowie was harassed from before. Ryze probably would have gotten 6 from these creeps, and I think the level differential would be very similar. The big issue here is that Chowie was taking too many Qs to the face from before when Scout was trading with him. And that's pretty much it. Good trade from EDG down here. You can see that there's a slight CS advantage now for Kog'Maw. And he also has a wave coming towards him, but Twitch Lulu should win early. And I think the main point here is that they have Relic Shield, and they also have Fervor, which makes it a bit easier for Janna and Kog'Maw. Like, Doran Shield 100% should be better for lane than Relic Shield. We'll have to see if it matters when Ardent Sensor gets bought. If Lulu ends up being ahead, or Lulu, or if this Relic Shield just doesn't matter. We'll just have to see. So EDG now with the big advantage in mid lane. Like we saw also, Chowie has used cleanse. Like, Chowie used cleanse when he died. Like, he used cleanse when he's dead. Like, He used cleanse right now. I didn't realize he used cleanse before, and it's also a big issue, right? It's pretty bad. And the main thing now for EDG, they can just play through mid lane and they can play into bottom, which should be their game plan for sure. Like if Scout is going to be far ahead of Rise, they can maintain this pressure and just play and abuse the fact that Rise is behind. Ziv being so isolated top, I don't know if I like it. 10 CS ahead, I don't think it's enough to justify Maokai. We'll just have to pay attention to it as it progresses. It's a difference as well that Maokai can actually do some returning damage to Jace in the trades, and Cho'Gath doesn't have a way to really latch on to Jace, which is like why the matchup is slightly better. Like all Jace needs to do is dodge the Q from Cho'Gath, and of course without boots is not the easiest thing, but well, like Jace should be really good against Maokai too. Like I don't think it's that big of a difference. But in terms of ganking Jace, it should be easy for Maokai more than anything. Massive CS advantage for AHQ. Like their bot lane seems to have mastered Kog'Maw Janna, because they were in a very similar state when they played against SK Telecom's bot lane. Very, very similar state, and you know, even though they played against Varus Lulu, which you could argue that is a very strong bot lane in terms of pressure and presence, etc. It seems like HQ are really, really good at playing Kog'Maw Janna. Sure, they're playing against Relic Shield and Fervor, which is like a slight thing, but I still think that Twitch Lulu should be stronger here. And HQ, this is the second time they played this very well. That was a smite by Mountain, I think. Can we go? No, actually, Clearlove got it. Clearlove got it. He's the one with the fresh red buff, so he has it. You can see that Chow is just trying to use the fact that Syndra was in base and came back. Like right now, Chow picked up, Scout picked up the blue off, comes back into lane, and then Chow goes topside. Syndra clears and matches, and she's like level 8 to level 6, so this is a fight she'd love to take. Also well played here, how she grabs it and knows how much damage Java can do. Secures it, and HQ don't get anything out of the fact that EDG was just picking up blue buff. So I want to see this continue, where EDG just play through mid lane. They should be stronger than the 2v2 because of the level advantage. Also Chowie, no flash now, no cleanse. Mountain maybe has to burn his flash too. Ooh. Ooh. Clearlove maybe should have just ulted. Maybe Clearlove should have just ulted for the damage right now. Boom, for the ult. And Mountain could have also flashed the damage from Jarvan ult, so there's no argument there for right as well. See, Clearlove is building tanking in this case, where it doesn't have a Galio in mid lane. I think when they have a Galio and Maokai in their team, it makes sense to build more DPS heavy. So I like Clearlove's build choices. Ooh. No summoners on Rise here, so Scout doesn't have flash either. He's flashed earlier on to get the kill, and ooh. Okay. The main thing here is that Scout doesn't have anything to support this with, and TP comes rather fast from Ziv. Very fast TP into mid lane. Doesn't care about the potential of getting cancelled by Maokai. He wards the bush and then just starts TPing, doesn't spot Maokai and just insta starts TPing, and you know, the main thing here is that Clearlove is doing this without knowing where Mountain is. Mountain is doing his golems, and he has no information of where he is. There's no deep vision, there's no nothing. He just knows that Sejuani is not that Raptors, pretty much. Maybe his guess was that Mountain would be in base after this situation. Like Mountain being in base is also a high possibility, right? Considering his HP. But Mountain just goes to Golem, smites them, and gets some HP back. You can see his HP is going to pop up right now after he smites. Boom, smite. HP goes up, Clearlove is in position now. I think Clearlove made the assumption that Sejuani is in base. And then a pretty clean TP here. I think the issue here is that Maokai is moving. I think Maokai should stay top and try to cancel these TPs and then just match the TP. But it seems like EDG as a whole just wanted to commit to this dive, but Clearlove was a bit too premature here. And Sejuani's coming back in and throws the ultimate on Clearlove, and Clearlove has flash, right? He could have potentially just flashed out and be safe if he just flashed this Sejuani ultimate, but the main thing is, like, was the play good to begin with? I think that there's a problem that if they're committing to this dive with Mouse and Mouse is moving, then they should wait until Mouse is here. Chowie has his cleanse back up, he has no flash, so there is some reasoning to it, like he just wants to latch onto him. But Syndra in this position doesn't have anything to provide. Like if Chowie is under the tower, okay, but Chowie is nowhere to be found. Like Chowie is super scared right now. He is nowhere under the tower, and I feel like if anything, Scout should just push in, and then if Chowie is under the tower, he should just EQ over and then try to one-shot him. But going for this trade here is just a bad idea. It's just not a good idea at all. Thunderlord hits, and he does do a lot of damage, but you know, it's not worth it. Like, he would have to flash here, and burning flash for this, you know, it wouldn't be worth it. Like, sure, as if TP for flash, you could argue that it's worth it, but I don't know. Like, EDG could have coordinated it better, maybe with Mouse coming down, but then Jace would have had priority top, so I just don't like the play. I don't like the play. And if EDG wanted to do anything, I feel like right here, Jarvan should have waited right here. Syndra is pushing because Ryze is being a pussy right here. He's waiting and waiting and waiting for the wave and waiting for Sejuani. Sejuani did the greedy thing of not basing, so Mountain still has to base, right? He did golems and then into base, and they're going to have a long time period where they can just hit mid tower without taking any risks. So if they want to go for this type of play, Ryze needs to stand here, Avatar Man needs to stand here, right? And EQ needs to go over the wall into Ryze ultimate, into Syndra just one-shot him without any problems. But the way they played it here, like Syndra cannot support this, she cannot get through here in time when Xiao gets EQ'd right there. And it's generally like poor execution from Clearlove, if anything. Ziv gets a kill, and that's always going to matter, like especially since he got the red buff, like he can maybe snowball this into something more against Mouse. If there was ever a player you should play Jace against, then it would be Mouse, I think. His performance last game against Cloud9, like when he was such a big CS disadvantage, it was crazy to think about. But maybe he just played so unbelievably safe because he knew that Sina's win condition was only to make a play on him. Good from Clearlove to just give up river. His bot lane doesn't have base priority, and the enemy bot lane base, so he's just running off. Doesn't know the position of Janna and Kog'Maw, so there's no reason for him to contest this. His bot lane is just calling out that, yeah, we are in base now. The enemy team bot lane, they base first, so they have priority. Twitch with the finished items and the finished ardent senses is going to pressure bot lane now. So if there was ever a time for EDG to make a play happen, it would be now, because Mouse has TP, Jace doesn't have TP to respond to it, and Twitch and Lulu should get priority bottom. Janna most likely wants to base, she should have money for Ardent Sensor very soon. I think this is a bad idea from AHQ. Mouse has a TP advantage, Jace is in base, he's not pressuring anything, and alright, EDG doesn't contest it, they walked straight bottom to just push the wave. And from now on, like, EDG should have priority everywhere, and I think this is the prime time for them to set up a play into bottom. You know, they should have priority in mid lane because Syndra is so strong, and Jay should just play around the fact that Maokai, you know, Maokai needs to push, like Maokai just wants to TP away, and Jace, I mixed up the two, like Jace wants to push, and Maokai wants to just set up the play on bottom. Scout is not basing for potentially Morello. I think he has enough for Morello. That's a full YamatoCannon, so he has way better items than Ryze, he has finished items. Mid tower is half HP now. Like, EDG have a big window to play with here. Like, there's still no base on Janna. Janna is finally basing to get her Ardent Sensor. The window is getting thinner and thinner. Jace, still no TP. Syndra is now back on the map. We don't have to care too much about Janna's Ardent Sensor, because right now Syndra should be able to pressure Rise, and the play should be to push through mid, clear all these pink wards, put their own pink wards, because right now like there's no pink ward on clear love, but EDG from bot lane are walking together here to create a situation. The play where they rotate into mid lane is also definitely viable, and the enemy team is responding. They're just rotating back to bot lane. They could see that AHQ are not hitting bottom wave while EDG are clearing the pink wards, right? So it was very evident for EDG that AHQ were doing the full rotation. But now at least EDG have full vision control, and they need to try to maintain it here, especially in the river, so Syndra and Jarvan have a way to move. But their approach to it is also completely fine. Like if they are just going to get mid tower for free because Chawi is too weak, that's also an approach. Chawi doesn't have flash yet, and if he gets caught by a clear love, then all of a sudden it becomes a rough situation. The main thing about making the play into bottom that I'm suggesting is that Rise can maybe respond with his teleport, and this is very safe and sound. Like taking the mid tower was a very easy feat for them. Jace has a TP back up though, so Jace can at least respond with that. 30 CS ahead now top lane with the Black Cleaver. Let's see if the Black Cleaver spike is gonna matter. Ibo with the flash. Holy moly. The damage now. So this is the play I was looking for, from before. EDG just playing with the fact that they have priority from mid lane and playing to bottom. Rise was very late to this, and EDG just started the fight. That was definitely in their favor. Mountain Drake into run up to Tribush. Kog'Maw Janna are trying to contest this. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Trying to steal it with the Kog'Maw ult maybe. If anything, they should be pushing bottom as fast as they can. iBoy opens. Maokai TP is charging in. About, where does it start? Maokai TP is not coming in. There we go, Maokai TP. And then, like Syndra just has priority in mid lane. You can see right now Rise is stuck here because Syndra is so much stronger. This was the play I was hoping for the entire time, where EDG just push Rise to the tower and then step into here and use the fact that they have pink wards in river and just step into the enemy bot side. Of course, when the mid lane tower is so low, they can also pick that up and do it in a different sequence, because if they can get mid tower, they can push Rise even further, and it becomes even harder for Rise to respond to this play in bottom. But now, with this in mind, the fact that Chao is getting completely wrecked in mid lane is a big issue, and EDG are just committing to this play bottom, knowing that they outnumber the enemy team because Rise is out of position. So Jace TP's in, and it just doesn't matter, and survives, and eventually he gets killed by Twitch. Like, what happened? How did he die? I'm curious. Was it a second X-Punch? Like, X-Punch has already been used, and then iBoy with another X-Punch. Yeah, that's the second X-Punch that he used this fight. One he used for Janna, and then he used another one here on Kog'Maw. Beautifully played by iBoy. iBoy as an AD carry is fantastic. I think he's amazing as a player. Definitely see that the difference now in the lane, while EDG have a finished item. Ginsu's Rage Blade is a lot more expensive than Hurricane. You can see that Kog'Maw hasn't even finished it yet, especially since he pivoted towards a Ninja Tabai. And EDG is just going to continue the streak of pressure now. AHQ. Jace. Sure, he's doing things to Maokai. Maokai is not really impacting the game. He has a 30 CS lead. I don't know if you can hope for more. AHQ, I don't think they had any reason to contest this. It's a tough situation they're in, right? Because of their mid lane situation. There's just no way to solve this when Chao is getting so hard smashed. Like, Scout is destroying Chao inside out. Like, Scout is that first blood kill, and Klelov playing around it. Klelov even suicided once, right? And Chao is still getting pressured to the max. That Morello buy into Catalyst here is such a big difference, and Morello as an item is just fantastic, And gets X-Punch the second time now, and AHQ really had no reason to be in this tri-bush to begin with, right? I don't know what Kog'Maw is trying to accomplish here. Is he trying to steal it? What is he trying to do? And this is what is going to be the issue for HQ the entire time because of Syndra mid lane priority. Like HQ couldn't even push bottom. They couldn't even do anything. Like they can't even stay under the tower. And what they have to wait for here is Ryze to potentially push next wave, and then S3 they contest bottom wave while this happens. When they have vision of a Syndra in mid lane, they need to try to contest the bottom wave S3 and then run away and then support it with Ryze ultimate. But trying to steal the Drake here is absolutely pathetic. I don't know what HQ were trying to do. At least you have a bigger chance if you fight under your tower, but it's not under your tower. This is just plain and simple like outside your tower, and you're fighting with a man disadvantage, and Ryze is coming in quite late, and it's just in general poorly played from HQ here. I think Ann and Albus didn't need to be there. I feel like HQ's doom of this tournament has been their mid laners. Westor had that one good Fizz game, but there's 2 other games, or 3 even, not 2 other games, were horrible, were quite bad. Even that game where he bought Bramble Vest and won against EDG, like that wasn't good either. But EDG are on track now to get the revenge. They have the mid tower already. Sejuani, holy, what the hell? Where did the mountain come from? Interesting play here. Like this is a last resort kind of thing when your mid laner has no pressure and there's no chance of you getting pressure. You need to kind of hope that through top lane, when Syndra is showing mid and she's pushing the wave, you try to set up a kill, and then you kill, and then you run away, and then Ryze is pushing mid, and Syndra matches again, and then you have a window where you can push top side, right? So this is like, I like this play from Mountain because he really has nothing else to do. Like, what else will he do? If he goes bottom and tries to gank Maokai, then EDG will just out-tempo them because they have two lanes that they're playing through. Mid lane, there's no chance that they get priority through mid lane. Sure, maybe they could kill Maokai if they set up something similar, but EDG are just going to accomplish so much more on the other side of the map, and that's a big issue. iBoy commits here, and the stun doesn't land, and iBoy... iBoy! Oh, the shield! Holy moly, this game is over, man. Ding, 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 ding. AHQ have exhausted all their options to try to win this game. Maybe Janna ultimate early could make a difference, but I don't know, man. Twitch, Hurricane, Ardent Sensor. 2 OP, man. Finished items versus non-finished items. There's a big difference. There's a massive difference. Holy moly. Crazy stuff. EDG now with a 6k gold lead 17 minutes into the game. I think we need to fast forward this a bit because I don't see how how HQ are going to get a W here. Finish Infinity Edge already. Clear with his Rift Herald, potentially going to use the bottom. Twitch and Lulu, they can practically, like they could 2v5 right now, I think. They could legit 2v5. Like if they get a good opener, they can legit 2v5. No Rift Herald being used. Clearlove is saving it for a rainy day. He's using it in mid lane instead. Holy shit, what just happened? What did Chowie take so much damage from? So it was Q, E, and then... Why does it look like E hits him twice? Hey, look at that. Okay. So it was... Like he Q'd. Q was what damaged him, but it just looked like the Q also got pushed in. Even though... Like he E'd way before he Q'd. But it was his Q damage that the damage to him. It wasn't double E. It just looked like it. Alright. Easy with the Rift Herald. Can they break a third tier tower here? Holy moly. Easy pickings for EDG. It all started very simple. You know, AHQ's bot lane, we're willing to fight back bottom, but Ryze is lost too hard in mid lane. Like if he gets solo killed in the current mid lane meta, it's an absolute joke. It's a travesty, it's a tragedy, and you know, it's atrocious that happens. And I think AHQ, you know, if they had a different mid laner, you know, if AHQ had Maple If they had Maple this tournament, it would be really good. You know, if they would have Maple this tournament, they would look so much different. If they had Perks, you know, it would look very different. But Chowie been very disappointing. Westor very disappointing. Only thing that Westor did good was that Fizz game, but the rest I think it was also quite disappointing. You know, that Corky game that he won against EDG, that was not because of him, because he got solo killed against Scout there as well. So it's something with AHQ and EDG. You know, EDG just solo kills the enemy mid lane. Scout has solo killed both mid laners now. And you know, after seeing how EDG played today, it's going to be very sad for me if they don't get through. Because I think, you know, it's all going to come down to the AHQ. What is the AHQ Cloud9 game? That's going to be very important. And then EDG need to beat SKT, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be very crazy. And this group is blown wide open now. If EDG, of course, take this win, which they should, right? Like, what the hell is AHQ supposed to do? Like, we can just fast forward the rest of it, and that's it, you know. It was plain and simple. Like, Scout got too much pressure through mid lane. Got mid tower first and then transitioned that into bottom, picked up 2 kills. They got 2 kills bottom, and then EDG, like iBoy and Mako, just 2v3 pretty much. And iBoy is crazy as a player. He's fucking good, man. Chinese ADs, man, they are crazy good. iBoy, according to a lot of people, I heard that he's baby Uzi, and I think it's legit. But this steal was almost there. I think, you know, if AHQ, it's really impressive though how well Ann and Albus play in the bot lane, how they get CS advantages and stay even against Lulu lanes as Kokoma Janna. I think it's really impressive. And then Mountain has had very clever jungle pathings, and I think the detriment for them is the lack of a good mid laner. Just a massacre, you know. I don't want to review this, it's just a massacre. There's no way that AHQ do anything, and that's a 24-minute stomp. Absolutely crazy. EDG now, they need to beat SK Telecom T1 to actually get through, which is going to be the crazy part. Unless we have... No, it's not possible that we have a 3-way tie. It's just not possible. Because SKT lost against AHQ earlier today, and that was also a crazy game. A very crazy game. I think if AHQ is going to have higher chances, they need to just bring in Westor, put him on his comfort, and then just let AHQ's bot lane and their jungler do work. I think Ziv is very solid too. Like he got a CS advantage here, and you know, Maokai didn't impact the game and neither did the Jace. So it's hard to say anything about top lane. You know, they didn't do anything this game. But Scout smashed Chowie. AHQ got a sub in Westor, man. They got a sub in Westor because this is sad. This is really sad. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.